Hi, welcome back for day 2 of the 12 Days of Giftness. Today is all about self-love. Me. Or in regards to you. It is all about you. You are amazing. So let's get into it. Today's quotes, I have 2 for you today. The first one is, make sure that your worst enemy does not live between your 2 ears. Really powerful one. Sometimes the words we say to ourselves are so cutting, so damning, so damaging that if we said those things to our friends, those wouldn't be our friends for very long. Quote number 2, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. So what's in store for today? Today we have a mirror challenge. This could be really fun for some people. This could also be really confronting for others. So just take it in your stride. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind and be loving and supportive of yourself, please. And then I have a couple of sort of visual activities just to remind you of your worth and your value. So I hope you have fun and enjoy today. So for the mirror challenge, I decided to be very vulnerable and strip down to my undies for your benefit, just for a visual aid of how you can do your mirror challenge. And you can do your mirror challenge in the bathroom, in the bedroom, wherever's comfortable for you. And I obviously was wearing undergarments. I recommend doing it in the nude if that's something that you are comfortable and capable of. Let's talk through the mirror challenge. The mirror challenge encourages us to stand in front of the mirror, ideally naked, ideally a full-length mirror, and somewhere where it's safe. Just breathe and just take in what you see. In front of you, reflected back, is your body. It's your shape, it's your color, it's your whatever is in front of you, it is yours. I want you to consider what your initial thoughts or feelings are when you stand fully naked or in your underwear in front of the mirror. What thoughts come up for you? What feelings come up for you? Do you hear any voices? Do you hear any noise in your mind? For some of us, our mind just goes crazy and we hear a lot of negativity, a lot of harsh, hurtful, hateful, horrible comments about the reflection that we see in the mirror. But I want to ask you, whose voice is it? Is it your voice or is it someone else's voice? Is it the voice of your mum, your dad, your teacher, your partner? Whose voice is it? Who is actually saying the nasty things to you inside your head? Where did those words come from? Where did those comments come from? When we're born, we are born naked. And throughout our life, we are taught to cover up. We are taught to hide our bodies. We are taught that it is disrespectful or it is rude to have certain parts of our bodies on display. It's inappropriate for certain settings to wear certain clothes. But if you notice children, if you have children of your own, you'll know that children don't care about their bodies. Children run around the house naked. They don't care. They don't think, oh, my little tummy's hanging out, or, I don't have a top on, or, I'm not wearing undies. Children don't think of these things. They're just happy and living in the moment. Children are so present and they don't care about their bodies. I want you to reflect and think, at what age did you start to become aware or conscious of your body and its shape, the way it looked? For a lot of us, that was early teenage years. When we started to go through puberty, we noticed that our body was changing. We noticed people looking at us in a different way. We heard comments about ourselves or about other people who were developing or changing. We might have noticed that our clothes no longer fit us properly. We might have noticed that the shape of our body was changing. But for you, what age was it? When did you first start to kind of notice your body? I'd like you to also consider what feelings come up when you look at yourself in the mirror. Ideally, we'd all have really positive, affirmative feelings towards ourselves, feelings of love and gratitude and joy when we looked at ourselves in the mirror, but for most of us, there could be feelings of guilt, of shame, of sadness, of resentment, of anger, of frustration, of disgust, despair. What feelings do you experience when you look at yourself in the mirror? And just take a moment to just sit with those, or stand, stand with those feelings, and just experience them. Experience what's coming for you. And for everybody, it's going to be personal. Everyone's different ages, sizes, shapes. They've been through different experiences, different cultures, different religions. Take a moment to consider what you're looking at. For many people, we look in the mirror and we think, oh, this is jiggly and that's sagging and this is squishy and that's lumpy and that's bumpy and I wish that was more tucked in or tighter or a different color or shape. But have you ever considered that the visual aspect of our body, it tells a story? Every single bump and scar and mark and bruise and stretch mark, they tell stories. For people who have given birth to children, many will have stretch marks. These tell the story of carrying a life, carrying a child inside of them, giving of their body so that something else may grow. If you have scars on your body, this may indicate that you've been in some kind of accident or you've had an injury or you've required a surgery. Whatever you see as you stand and look at yourself, it all tells a story. I liken the human body to wrapping paper of a beautiful gift. And it's very cliche to say, but it's what's inside that counts. And sometimes we add layers to ourselves to protect what's inside because we've been so hurt. And we could liken cellulite to bubble wrap. And the more wrapping paper we put on, the more bubble wrap, the more padding, goes to show us that what's on the inside is worthy of protecting. Let's say you were moving house and you had some crystal vases. You'd never just throw them in a box with other things. You would gently wrap them in bubble wrap them in paper, gently put them in a box and make sure they're really secure. So it's not the packaging on the outside that holds the value. It's what's inside that packaging that is valuable. It's what's inside of you that is valuable. So as you stand and look at yourself in the mirror, just take a moment to acknowledge what you see, what you feel, and what words are coming to you, what voices you're hearing, your instant reactions and feelings are. Just take a moment to take it all in. I also want you to think about the comments and words that you may say to yourself. And I often say, kind, happy people say kind, happy, loving things to themselves and to others. And people that say harsh, hurtful, hateful, critical, nasty comments to themselves or others generally feel that way on the inside. So what we say is a reflection of how we feel on the inside. Harmonious people don't feel the need to criticize others, to hurt others, to be hateful to others. So if somebody says something harsh and hurtful and hateful to you, that is a reflection of how they feel on the inside and has nothing to do with your worth or your value. There's a saying that says if you blow someone's candle out, it doesn't make yours glow brighter. We should be aiming to lift each other up, to build each other up, to encourage, to motivate, to inspire other people instead of tearing them down, instead of criticizing them, instead of saying harsh, hurtful comments to them, in order to live in a beautiful, wonderful society where we are kind and loving to not only other people, but first and foremost to ourselves. And the gift of self-love is probably the most valuable gift that you could ever give yourself. So I challenge you to look in the mirror and replace those harsh, hurtful, critical words, those negative feelings, those negative thoughts with kind, wonderful, positive thoughts. Wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a loving hug. Embrace yourself. You have been on a journey. You have a past, you have a history, and you have a story to tell. And your story is uniquely yours. And that makes you special and wonderful and exciting and unique. So be proud of who you are. Be proud of who stands there in front of the mirror. Be proud of all you've accomplished and all you have survived. My challenge for you is to make this a regular practice. Every day when you get dressed or undressed or have a shower, take a few moments to stand and just take in what you see and be kind to yourself. Be loving towards yourself. Say things to yourself that you would say to your best friend, to your partner, to your children. Take time to give yourself kindness. Give yourself love and honor yourself. Thank you so much for partaking in day 2 of the 12 Days of Giftness. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for day 3. See you then. Here I have a very large diamond. As you can tell, it is real. I spent a lot of money on this diamond just so I could show you this example. This diamond represents you. This represents the real you, the you that lies beneath, the precious, invaluable, absolutely unique, one-of-a-kind you. That is what this diamond represents. We're born completely innocent, completely pure. But over time, unfortunately, actions and words and comments from other people can kind of dull our shine a little bit. So I have come up with 10 wonderful examples of times when people have said really nasty things to me. I'm really grateful that it took me a long time to think of these 10 examples. So these are all real examples. The first example is that at age 10, I had an accident which knocked out a whole bunch of my teeth and I ripped a large hole in my chin. So I have a large scar there. So I remember saying I was feeling quite sorry for myself as a 10-year-old because I was very swollen and in a lot of pain, and I said, why did this have to happen to me? And I was told it happened for a reason and that my big mouth would get me into trouble one day. So we're going to take this example of a negative comment. We're going to pop this on our diamond. Example number 2. All the kids in my class decided to give everyone a nickname, and your nickname was a word that started with the same letter as your first name. So my name's Heidi, so the word that was given to me was hideous. So I was known as Hideous Heidi. And although they said, no, it's not because you're ugly, it's just because hideous starts with H, it still kind of stung a little bit. So I'm going to put that on my diamond. Example number 3, also from age 10. Clearly this is quite an impressionable age. We got a Sega Mega Drive. Whoa. I shared it for news in the morning on the Monday. I said, oh, on the weekend we got a Sega Mega Drive. And this boy in my class said, that is so dumb. I have a PlayStation. No one wants Segas. They're dumb. You're a loser. And I was like, I'm not cool at all. Thanks, dude. We'll pop that one on my diamond as well. Right, next one. We're moving on in age order. This time I was 12 and I had a boyfriend. We went over to the basketball courts and there was an older kid. He was a year older than us, and he said to my boyfriend, who's this? And my boyfriend said, this is Heidi, she's my girlfriend. And the older boy said, oh, I wouldn't go out with an ugly bitch like that. And I got dumped the next day. So that stung a wee bit, as you can imagine when you're 12. So I'm going to put that on my diamond. So I was 19 and I was studying travel and tourism. We had to decide what avenue we'd like to go down in the travel and tourism sector. And so I went to the tutor who was in charge of finding positions for people to have work experience. And she said, I'm a little bit concerned about where to put you. You're not very good with people, so I don't really want you working on the front line. You shouldn't be around people. So thanks for that, lady. Put that on my diamond. Right, at the age of 21, I was with somebody and they said, I think you're a bit big. And I thought, okay, that's fine. I will stop eating so much and I will go running a lot. And so I did that for a wee bit. Pretty quickly, I went from a size 12 to a size 10. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I've, dropped a dress size and now a size 10. And my boyfriend at the time said, yeah, you're a size 10 now. You look a bit better, but I still think you'd look a bit better if you lost more weight. Thanks, mate. I'm going to put that on my diamond as well. Next example, a lovely, lovely fellow gentleman said to me, I'm a button legs kind of guy, and I definitely don't like your legs. Thank you very much for that. I will put that on my diamond as well. Age 24. I was doing a job that I really didn't like, and it was in partnership with the person I was with at the time. It just absolutely was not me. There's no part of it that I really, really enjoyed. I had aspirations to go and study something so that I could then go and do something that was important to me. And I was told, nope, you can't go and study what you're interested in. You either stay and stick around and do what I want you to do, or you go and study and you can fuck right off. So I'm going to put that example, we'll put that up there on my diamond, age 31. So this one actually came from one of my patients in the hospital. Yes, this person was of sound mind, so they told me, you'd actually be quite pretty if you got your teeth fixed. That's going on my diamond too. Last example that I could come up with was age 33. My husband and I got married just before the very, very first COVID lockdown. The idea was to get married. We did a very small wedding. Then we were going to spend a bit more money on going overseas to Europe for a couple of months, tripping around Europe, having the time of our lives. That was the idea. Obviously with COVID that didn't happen, and I kept saying I'd still really like to go to Europe. I'd still really like to go to Europe. And this was when, you know, COVID was still coming and going. We didn't know where we stood with COVID. We didn't know when it was going to end. There was no end in sight at this time. And I was told, you just need to give up on your dream to go to Europe. I had a very small honeymoon. We went somewhere local, and you don't need a big honeymoon either. So thank you very much for your opinion and your comments. I'm going to put that on my diamond also. Now, as you can see, I can't see the diamond. Where's the diamond gone? This is only 10 examples. I mean, there are probably hundreds more that I haven't remembered, but at the time they hurt. This example shows that even with 10 comments, we've completely covered our diamond. What's inside us has been hidden, it's been obscured, and sometimes things that happen to us, things that get said to us in life, can hurt us, they can damage us, they can make us feel less than, they can make us forget who we really are inside. So I want to do a little exercise now where I take off all of these comments. So I need to give up on my dream to go to Europe. We will go when we're ready, and I'm not going to base my trip to Europe or not trip to Europe on someone else's opinion. I'm just going to screw that up and say goodbye to it. Age 31, got told I might be pretty if I got my teeth fixed up. My value isn't derived from the straightness of my teeth. Bye. Age 24, told that I could do what they wanted me to do, or I could pursue my own passions and fuck right off. Well, you know what? I did fuck right off. I am a million times happier than I was back then with that person, so I don't need to be trapped doing something that I don't love for the rest of my life just because someone else wants me to do. Next one is 23. My legs aren't good enough. My worth doesn't come from the shape of my legs. So, bye. Next one. I was a size 10 and I still needed to lose weight because I would look better if I lost weight. My value doesn't come from the size or shape of my body. My value is internal, and I am more than just a physical appearance. At 19, being told that I wasn't good in the public eye and that I shouldn't be in front of people because I wasn't very good with people. I love people, and people love working with me, and I've been told this many, many, many times by people that value my contribution to life, to society, and to them. So many about my appearance. At 12 years old, being told that they wouldn't date an ugly bitch like me, and then I got dumped the next day. Well, both of you guys didn't see my worth, but they have the world's most beautiful, beautiful partners. All jokes aside. Right, 10. Told that I was dumb and a loser for having a Sega instead of a PlayStation. Segas are now collector's items, so I was actually really cool before my time. Lucky last 2. Being called hideous Heidi. Not very nice. Only said in jokes, but I'm not hideous. We'll put that one to rest as well. Lucky last. told at 10 after my big accident knocking my teeth out that my big mouth was going to get me into trouble one day and that I deserved having my accident. We will say goodbye to that nonsense. And as you can see, our beautiful diamond is again on show and it is vibrant and bright. We have discarded all the negative comments. We've taken off all the dust, the dirt, the grime that life has put on our beautiful diamond. The diamond is now on full display to show its absolute magnificence and shine bright. And now our diamond is free to get on with its own life and be a diamond. In this example, I have two identical $20 notes. What is the value of each of these? If I took this to the bank, I would get $20 in credit. If I took this to the bank, I would get $20 in credit. So we're going to treat this note like it is the most delicate, precious thing in the world, and we're never going to expose it to anything. We're going to keep it in a little case, keep it locked away, keep it protected its whole life. So we're just going to put that one down. This one, on the other hand, we're not going to treat it so nice. We're going to get some peanut butter and we're going to smear it all over the note. I mean, I don't know about you, but who doesn't like a $20 note covered in peanut butter? So a bit of peanut butter on there. We're gonna get some mustard. We're gonna put mustard on there. We're gonna smush that around. Here we go. We're gonna cover it in mustard. I forgot to get a spoon for this one, so I'm just gonna use my finger. Got some molasses on my finger. We're just gonna smear the molasses all over. Oh, that's gonna taste good when I lick my finger afterwards. This $20 note is covered in peanut butter. It's covered in mustard. It's covered in molasses. We're gonna screw this note up. We're gonna throw it on the floor. We're gonna stomp on it. We're gonna pound it. We're gonna punch it. We're gonna say horrible, nasty words to this $20 note. You're useless. You're worthless. You're ugly. You smell. Ugh, gross. You're covered in mustard. You're covered in peanut butter. You're covered in molasses. You're disgusting. Who would ever want you? Pretty gross things to say to a $20 note. I'm just going to go wash my hands. Hands are now clean. So we're going to get our note and we're going to unscrew it. It's a bit crumpled. It smells a little interesting. It's grubby, it's sticky. And then we're going to take our beautiful, pristine, perfect, lovely note and we're going to take them down to the bank. We'll probably clean this one up a little bit in real life. But if you took this one to the bank and you wanted to deposit it in your account, they would credit you $20. If you took this one to the bank and you said, can I put this in my account? They would credit you $20. The question is, which one's more valuable? Is it the perfect, pristine, beautiful, shiny one that's got no folds, no crunches, no mustard, no peanut butter? Or is it this one with all the wrinkles and the horrible words attached to it and the mustard and the peanut butter and the one that's been stomped all over? Which one is more valuable? The bank would give you $20 if you took them in. However, this one's got a story to tell. This one's more valuable because it's had a life. It's experienced things. It's been trodden on, but that didn't decrease its value. This one, I mean, it's beautiful, but it has no life experience. It's literally just been sitting in a cupboard, in a folder somewhere, kept safe its whole life. This one, on the other hand, this one has a story to tell. And I hope that you can see that in real life, just because we get trodden on, beat up, harsh words said to us, horrible things happen to us in life, that does not diminish our value. In fact, we become more valuable. We have a story, we have a past, we gain experience, we gain knowledge. And I'm not saying that having a wonderful life where nothing ever goes wrong is bad, but to have horrible things happen to you and still come out on top, you are still valuable. In fact, you're probably more valuable than the person or the note that has never experienced, has never lived, has never suffered any hardships. Know your worth, know your value. You are lovable, you're amazing. Thanks for watching.